somebody gets COVID in our classroom, the whole classroom has to quarantine. But being high school students, you kind of have to quarantine 6 or more classes. And that's just going to make it like 1/4 of the school gone. So I really don't see a point because there's going to be COVID cases. And if 1/4 of the school is going to go away, then it's probably going to be more, because if that person goes to 6 classes, those 6 people, like the people in those 6 classes are going to go to other classes and they're just going to spread it if they caught it. So I feel like it's just going to like spread throughout the entire school. And it's just kind of like, it's not going to solve any issues. It's just going to create more problems. Hi, my name is Sanjana.
My name is Nick.
Hi, my name is Varshini, and this is EarthListening.
So for this episode, we'll be talking about a variety of things. We'll be talking about COVID cases, possibly going back into lockdown. We'll be talking about going back to school, and we'll also be talking about collaborations that EarthListening is having right now, and it's a big change for EarthListening and the future of EarthListening. So in general, how do you guys think about the new Delta variant and how many cases are rising? Because I saw online that we're back to 100,000 cases a day, and it's to how originally COVID was in the beginning.
Oh, that's not good at all. Kind of scary that there's a new one, I guess. I'm not sure if we should be going back since it's back to like the original number.
Yeah, that's my concern as well. Like, I noticed at our schools, we're not really doing the whole social distancing thing, and you don't even have to wear your mask outside. So it just makes me question, like, there's really like no point of going back to school if we're not even going to follow the precautions.
I do have to agree with Sanjana because it is kind of concerning that there is no protocol anymore, even though the cases are rising. I thought of school possibly closing for this year as well. However, some people do need school because it has a daycare system where sort of people can't take care of the children as much.
Yeah, that's very true. Not everyone can put a pause to their life just because of COVID.
Yeah, so that daycare system is really helping out. But I heard that now places that are going to work, so like parents who have to go to work, they're requesting their employers to create some sort of daycare system, because what happens is parents go back to work, but students are back at home because of online school. So now they have to provide a form of daycare, which is, I think, one of the biggest things that the school board was talking about, how to provide like some form of, monitoring students if we can't really do that.
Yeah, especially for like elementary school, a lot of the parents can't pick up their kids, and a lot of those kids can't even like walk home and stay home. So a daycare system is really necessary.
Overall, this is just a terrible situation for America. What do you guys think about the collaboration between EarthListening and the jewelry store Euphoria?
Oh yeah, I saw that. I like a lot of the jewelry on their catalog, and I think they have good prices also.
I think it's taking overall a different direction for thinking, just because we usually just spread awareness, but now we're like being able to take action and help other people and sell jewelry in a way that kind of shows that you can do something for the environment that can like help to fundraising for EarthListening, as well as like get something in return. I kind of like a back to school rush. People are going to want to purchase these things. People are going to want to get back to school after such a long period of going virtual and people only like seeing foreheads. Now that we're going back to school, it kind of makes people like have kind of like the freedom to like represent themselves in a new way, which is a good thing for EarthListening.
All right, so I did talk to a lot of people, like current seniors. They said they're really excited to go back to school. And, I feel them, like it's been such a long time. And, a lot of people are gonna want to have this feeling to like express themselves and like how they changed like over like the pandemic. So I especially with, like this jewelry collaboration and stuff like that. I feel like it's a great opportunity for people to not only express themselves, but but for us to dedicate ourselves towards like a cause bigger than ourselves.
It's a really good turn for EarthListening because it's a step up. So we can slowly grow more and more bigger and collaborate with more bigger companies as well in hopes of reaching out with our goals in mind. If the US were to put up a new protocol for the new Delta variant, what do you think it would be? What if we go back to the same things?
I don't think we would ever go back to the same thing, just because everybody knows like last week was August the 13th on Friday, and a bunch of schools went back into said they're not taking any more students and that we're going to go back into lockdown. And because of high COVID cases, they're going back to virtual learning. So that kind of just showed that it's coming close, and the fact that other schools are kind of shutting down tells us that we're probably going to shut down. And I don't think if we were to have a new protocol, it wouldn't really work just because of how high the cases are right now. We're essentially backsliding or going back in time. And it makes me question about, is there really any change we can do if we're just going to go back to virtual learning? Because this is like, even if we prepare for this, it's going to go back to the time where we were all in virtual learning in like the end of the year, where virtual learning was just like terrible. We wouldn't really join classes, or we would just like submit assignments and then move on. It was really bad. So I feel like it might just go back to that for a little while until we go back to school.
Especially with the Delta variant, it's gonna. I feel like it's gonna be a mixed bag because some schools are gonna require mask mandates, and some schools are not gonna have it. So there's gonna be some outbreaks here and there, and then like Sanjana said, probably everything's gonna go back to virtual like in a little bit, and people are gonna realize their mistake, and then the parents are probably gonna get even more upset because they're gonna have to go through the whole thing again of switching, like having to monitor their kids and stuff like that. So it's really tough to say at this point, but if most schools are going like in person this fall, it's probably gonna be like mask mandates and stuff like that, but who knows.
I know that like a lot of parents with little kids are happier with virtual learning because a lot of daycares that they used to go to closed, and it's better if they stay home, and some of them have older siblings to take care of them. Also, I think a lot of parents can't even go to pick up their own kids, so even without the daycare systems, they can't go pick up their own kids and stay home. So a lot of parents, I think some parents are like fighting for virtual school.
And I noticed I saw there was a petition going around in our neighborhood about not going back to school because of how high the cases are. And specifically in our school district, if somebody gets COVID in our classroom, the whole classroom has to quarantine. But being high school students, you kind of have to quarantine 6 or more classes. And that's just going to make it like 1/4 of the school gone. So I really don't see a point because there's going to be COVID cases. And if 1/4 of the school is going to go away, then it's probably going to be more. Because if that person goes to 6 classes, those 6 people, like the people in those 6 classes, are going to go to other classes and they're just going to spread it if they caught it. So I feel like it's just going to spread throughout the entire school. It's just it's not going to solve any issues. It's going to create more problems.
I do have to agree. The spread of the virus is very fast. It's getting really bumming to talk about this subject and how impactful it is on this decade and era, I guess. I would say, although schools are opening, it may be good for some people. It's sort of really bad for all of us because if schools open, there's a chance we might catch the COVID variant, as well as this overall crash in the economy. Because with the new variant, wouldn't more jobs be closed as well?
I mean, I would agree with Nicholas. I mean, but the way I see it, the reason why everything trying to be reopened this fall, it's kind of like a false, so kind of like coming on a prayer type of thing that let's just hope for the best that nothing's gonna happen and try to have some of a normalcy before and that nothing crumbles down. So I think that's part of why schools and stuff are opening. But in the bigger picture, like Nicholas pointed out, that you're gonna have some severe repercussions economically, and socially, et cetera. So I mean, it's who's to say at this point.
Yeah, I agree that it's a really upsetting topic to talk about because a lot of students and parents are really frustrated. I think that a lot of the seniors just want to spend one last final year normally, but I don't think they're gonna have the chance to because of the new variant.
So do you guys in general think we're gonna be going into a second lockdown, or do you guys not think that?
I think it most likely will happen given within a month or two, once cases start spreading and non-vaccinated people start showing their symptoms and whatnot. So I think it's gonna happen, but it might give or take a few months before it actually does happen.
Yeah, a lot of places are closing down again because of the new variant. It's just showing that COVID is spreading, and we got the mask mandate lifted for about a month and then it just went back to being there again. So it kind of just shows that we just kind of created a bigger problem by lifting the mask mandate, and now we're all kind of suffering from it. So
yeah, I think that schools will even though they're trying to get us all back into the classes, I think that they will end up going back to virtual because how high the amount of cases there are. And I mean, I hope we're surprised and that doesn't happen because I would like to stay at school.
I do agree. Going to school is probably really needed for me because I don't really learn that well via virtual learning. It's kind of hard for me, and I really do miss meeting my friends and teachers every single day because, it just really feels weird not seeing the person you're gonna teach face to face.
I feel like when we go back to school, it's gonna be even more weird, just because we're not used to that. We went a whole year with just not seeing people in person. So when we go back to school, it's gonna be really interesting. It's almost gonna be like nostalgic, but a weird type of nostalgic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree that it's gonna be like really weird, but I think it'll be exciting as well. I look forward to it.
So thank you all for listening. This week's episode was very interesting. We talked about a variety of things, and we kind of just pertain to everything that's going on in the world as well as with EarthListening. It's pretty much a continuation of our last episode and how we feel since things are changing every single day. So, thank you.
Thanks for listening. Check us out on Instagram at EarthLinking Official. Check out our website on Instagram located in the link in our bio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at EarthLinking Team. Donate to our GoFundMe located in the description box below. This is EarthListening. See you in the next episode.